Vancouver, those who want to replace our voting system in BC hold a double-digit lead over supporters of the current electoral system, a new province-wide poll has found. While 57% of British Columbians want proportional representation, in which the number of seats more closely reflects the popular vote, they're split over the BC NDP's path toward a referendum on a still undetermined question this fall, according to an Angus Reid Institute survey released Wednesday. Only 43% of respondents support the current first-past-the-post voting system. Unlike the two previous referenda that required 60% to pass, the NDP has stated the vote will require a simple majority. Support for proportional representation is very different depending on your political perspective, said Shachi Kurl, the Institute's executive director, in a phone interview. If you are a BC Liberal voter, you're far more likely to be vehemently opposed to a change in electoral systems than if you're a past NDP or Green voter. One area where voters are split on the issue is how the NDP is going about setting up the referendum. Faced with BC Liberal accusations the government is trying to bring in a system that favors the NDP, just over half polled said they trust the province to come up with a ballot question that's fair, and just under half did not have faith in a fair question. That's not the only area that BC remains deeply divided 1 year after the razor-tight 2017 election, when the BC Liberals lost their majority after 16 years in power by a mere 1,566 votes. According to the wide-ranging survey, BC is also split on a wide range of issues, with stark polarization between its coastal urban centers and the interior, as well as divisions over what respondents said were the top issues. Housing affordability was most important to half in BC, followed by the Kinder Morgan pipeline, which was top issue for 4 in 10 respondents. The polarization of British Columbians on almost every key ballot question in the province today is really quite breathtaking, Kurl said. One thing many respondents did agree on, however, the largest group, representing 42%, think BC is on the wrong track, while just 29% say it's on the right track. A similar number said they aren't sure, but there isn't even consensus among those folks about why the province is headed in the wrong direction, Kurl noted. Perhaps predictably, a large majority, 69% of BC Liberal voters overwhelmingly disapprove of the NDP's direction. But of the NDP and Green's own supporters, only 49% and 39% respectively felt the province was headed in the right direction, even though the minority NDP is governing thanks to an alliance with the Greens. This government is carrying the expectations of a lot of people, Kurl said. Obviously, some haven't seen the kind of change they were looking for instance, BC Liberal voters opposed the NDP's efforts to stop the Kinder Morgan pipeline, but even some of the NDP and Green backers felt BC hadn't done enough. More Greens opposed the BC government's pipeline handling, 51% then support it, 44%, just 54% of NDP voters supported their government's handling of Kinder Morgan. A significant minority, 4 in 10, said they don't approve. Overall on the pipeline, the BC NDP drew most praise in the city of Vancouver, where 52% backed its stance. But everywhere else, more than half opposed the government handling on the issue, most strongly outside the Lower Mainland and Vancouver Island. In the rest of BC, 65% disapproved of the NDP, and just 28% support it. Another divide was generational. Voters over 55 years old tended to oppose the NDP's pipeline approach, compared to younger voters under 34 years old. However, Premier John Horgan holds a far higher approval rating than BC Liberal leader Andrew Wilkinson, who has a 26-point approval to Horgan's 47%. And 1 in 3 British Columbians approve of Green leader Andrew Weaver, who holds the balance of power in the province. The survey of 809 adults had a margin of error of 3.4%, and was conducted May 4 to 7. David P. Ball is a Vancouver-based reporter covering democracy and politics. Email him or follow him on Twitter, at David Ball. Top stories, delivered to your inbox. New NEWSLETTERHEADLINESSIGN up.